So I wanted to talk about it, and it was about loneliness, right? And how your perspective on loneliness can truly shape your journey through loneliness. And the way you act during loneliness can truly shape whether you become better or whether you become worse. When you are lonely and maybe you lost a lot of friends, maybe you lost people that you truly loved, maybe you broke up with someone and now you're lonely, right? You can either fall into hedonism, you can go hang around the wrong people, you can go find a bunch of friends to smoke with, you can go find a bunch of friends to drink with, and that's what most people do. Or you can work on yourself, you become a better person, you can figure something out to make your life better. And when you're on a path or a journey that's moving forward and you're lonely, the path goes much faster when you have nobody else trying to stop you. When you have nobody behind your back, when you don't have people on the side of you who need your attention and the only attention you're getting is from God and you, it's very easy to move forward. That's why being lonely is actually very beneficial for your life if you look at it from the perspective of someone that says, I can make this part of my life the determining factor for why I succeeded in the future. The lonely chapter of your life is the most important chapter of your life because it is the determining factor in whether you succeed or not. Most people don't succeed because they cannot make it out of that lonely chapter. That part where you have no friends. That part where every single thing you're going through, you have to go through by yourself and you have to analyze all of your thoughts by yourself. You have to find answers to questions that the people around you do not have because they do not understand where you are trying to go. And the people who understand where you are trying to go, you don't have access to them yet. So because of that, this is where it leads you versus you. This is where prayer becomes one of the most impactful parts of your life. This is where you sit down and your conversations with God are literally the most genuine. They're the most heartfelt because He is the only one that you can talk to that will understand what you are going through. We live in a generation of loneliness and people not understanding how to deal with loneliness. The reason people are so depressed and they're so anxious these days is because their mindset towards loneliness is escape instead of sit and analyze their lives. If I'm lonely, I can get on my phone and scroll and I can have a virtual relationship with a bunch of people that I don't even know, that I've never met from a can of paint. I can scroll for hours and, maladaptive daydream about lives that are not even mine. I never even have to go outside and have a conversation with someone. Because being lonely is a facade. It's a facade. You don't, your loneliness is masked through your phone that you escape it with. You don't truly have to feel lonely anymore. The only time you truly feel lonely is when you don't have your phone. That's the only time you truly don't feel lonely. I can go and see my favorite celebrity, see what he's doing at this exact moment. I can see what this person that I've never met, what they're doing. I can watch this streamer who's living his life. I never truly have to analyze my situation. And by the time I start analyzing it, I'll just go right back on my phone. I never truly had to sit in my own thoughts. They wonder why 2026, there's more depression and people with anxiety than there's ever been before. We talk about it the most now too. Before, in the 90s and 80s, we never talked about depression or anxiety, and it's crazy that the numbers for depression and anxiety were down. But 30 years later, everybody's depressed and anxious, but for some reason there's a whole bunch of pills for it now. Because every day we're constantly comparing ourselves to other people's lives. We're comparing ourselves to what the next man is doing. We're comparing our reality to another man's highlight reel. This is what causes us to drink. This is what causes us to smoke. This is what causes us to fall into our lust. This is what causes us to watch porn. This is what causes us to do all of those things because we are constantly comparing ourselves to what other people's greatest moments are, making us feel lonely inside our heart. We need God more than ever right now. We need God more than ever. Because the devil wants us to feel lonely. The devil wants us to feel that we need validation from the world in order to feel like we are worthy. Because when you need validation from the world to feel like you are worthy, the devil can use you to do things that are for him. You'll end up doing things that are against God in order to garner fame, in order to garner money, all for the road to achieving validation from other people in this world. You will never ever be fulfilled chasing other people's validation. You will never be fulfilled from that. Your heart was literally made to only be fulfilled with eternity. It was only meant to be fulfilled with eternity. And until you put eternity in your heart and you make that your main goal for this life, then you'll truly understand what you want out of this life. And you'll have peace in the things that you already have. You'll actually be less scared to take risk because you're not attached to whatever happens to you. You're not attached to failure. You're not attached to messing up. You're not attached to losing things because your only goal is eternity. And you can achieve eternity by just having a relationship with God. And you can have that whether you're homeless or a billionaire. It doesn't matter. We keep going on every day. Hey, wondering, hey, do I need a girlfriend? Do I need this? Do I need that? Bro, you don't need a girlfriend. A girlfriend is only going to make your situation worse. It's only going to make your situation worse. You're using your girlfriend to fill a void. And when you do that, you start to resent her when you get in that relationship because you never filled that void with what you needed to fill that void with. And then she breaks up with you and now you're lonely and you think you miss her, but honestly, you just miss that she was a distraction from the fact that you never fulfilled the void. Most men have girlfriends as a distraction from the fact that they don't have to figure themselves out. You don't want to figure that part of yourself that feels empty. Because that part of yourself that feels empty, you're scared of that. You're scared of him. You're scared of that little hole. And you were hoping that a girlfriend did that, but all the girlfriend was doing was just distracting you from it. And now you're heartbroken. And the only reason you're heartbroken is not because you miss her, it's because you miss her distracting you from you.